Hello, I am right now in the site of the Ludlow Massacre, and it happened in April 20th of 1914 in Ludlow, Colorado, near Trinidad, Colorado, and that will be south of Pueblo. I don't know exactly how many people die here, but many women and children die. Basically, the fight was in between the industrialists and the labor unions, and this will be the United Mining Union, or UMWA, United Mining Workers of America. This photo right here shows how the camp was. It was a tent camp. Back then, the miners or workers actually live in tents on property of the mines. And it's a typical early 1900s and late 1800s. This is one typical example of how the industrialists got wealth and create wealth. Actually, they actually created this nation by creating wealth, and they transferred that wealth to the politicians, and the politicians control the masses of the people, or the workers in this case, via information technologies like newspapers, and back then they had a telegraph and railroad, and so using any information technology. This is the spot where the kids and women were hiding, and they got burned alive. The memorials say, in memory of the men, women, and children who lost their life in the freedom cause at Ludlow, Colorado, April 20, 1914. Erected by the United Workers of America. So that is what happened here. Basically, they set up a machine gun on that hill there. This was the railroad, just passing right beside us, and they brought a train full of us militia. Actually, was the use of the National Guard, or the use of the government, what strike me to come here, because it's just the wealth was transferred and used to a government of the United States to control the population, and I think it's very striking that that happened still today. It's no difference. That is why it costs so much money to run for office. Costs billions of dollars. So basically, the wealth is created and is transferred to politicians, and the politicians use the institutions to pass laws and control the populace, and that wealth is actually sent to the information technologies like television, radio, and so on. And this is the photo of the town at that time. So it haven't changed much since the time of the massacre. Now, if you notice, right on that flat land, It was a road, and in that road there was a armored car with a machine gun, and they utilized that armored car with the Garland gun to machine gun the tank camp. And this is the map of the landscape. If you notice that hill there is where the road was, so it comes all the way around the back of the the, uh, the building. This is the train tracks. Train tracks. We're sitting here. This is a baseball field. That is where my truck is, sitting there. The station, the militia camp, and the workers camp. And then on the water tank on the hill is the machine gun. So it's been about 100 years since this happened. We're gonna walk here, and this is a modern building. It's like a shed so people can, you know, have a snack. This is a tribute wall. The wall is a United Workers of America a tribute for the restoration of the Ludlow Monument and continued support on the site. Also, the leaders of the workers were killed later on uh, in Trinidad. That is a town about maybe 10 miles in that direction. So they took them to Trinidad and they executed them over there, and nobody ever was charged for it. Maybe some reprimands, and that was it. And this is a typical car where they kept the org in there. It's a mining the device. It's like a small train. The monument is very nice made. It's made out of granite, and it's a sculpture really well. I mean, you can actually see the expression of the faces of the statues. And it has a seal on the top, United Mine Workers of America. Well, hopefully you enjoyed, and never forget this place. Very important in American history, actually in world history. This is where they, in modern times, the use of wealth or the transfer of wealth in between the industrialist, government institution, and the control of the populace. For example, I'm going to give you an example of it. These safety glasses. This is actually safety glass. The way they do it is they pass laws. Oh, you must have safety glasses to protect you. And the reality is to create a job, because now someone has to make the safety glasses. And by making the safety glasses, somebody has to hire a worker. But this worker is gonna have to be cared for. So it's a chain. They create a law, they pass a law to create safety glass. A safety glass has to be made by a human. A human has to have insurances and so on, and have to pay taxes. And all this merry-go-around is all a mirage. It's a pyramid, and eventually will collapse somehow. So hopefully we will get away from that and stop the government from creating jobs. They actually tell you the government create a job. So hopefully that this place will show you how it actually works. It's many people die here, women and children.